All right, Coach Lee here, coming at you with the force of 1,000 suns. Let's talk all things Colombia today. First, before we jump into that, remember I'm a certified nutritionist working with both athletes, whether they're my clients or they're someone else's clients. And I'm working with the population at large, non athletes, if you will, help them on their weight loss goals, help them on their health journey, all that great stuff. And so, Sanstead.com, please reach out. Would love to talk to you. This past January, I went on an amazing trip to Colombia, and that's what all this is about. Because in January of 2025, I'm going to go back to some of the same roads with this same group, Altos. Altos Base Camp, they are a great host company. They have several vehicles dedicated to bike camps. They have bike mechanics. Everybody on their staff team, fantastic. They are when Annemiek van Vleuten, the female professional cyclist, whenever she travels to Colombia, and she does once a year, these are the same roads that she rides on, and this is the same tour group that she goes with. So these guys are no joke. They're the real deal, and they were fantastic. And it's great to go with a tour because they give you wow, they just take you to places that you would never go unless you went with an actual tour group. So let's jump into the trip. We want to look at where we were in the country. We want to look at some of the roads we went on. We want to look at the scenery. We want to look at places we stayed, towns we went through. And finally, we want to look at the food that we ate. Now, before I jump into all this, one of the most important things to think about Colombia is that how I was raised with the cinema of the 80s and 90s where there was always a kidnapping. There was a movie about, drug wars, guerrillas, and, like I just mentioned, kidnapping. Like there was all these movies about Colombia. Throw all that away. It is a lovely country with absolutely 100% beautiful people. Like, I was actually kind of stressed about this because, like I said, I grew up in 80s and 90s Hollywood cinema. My view of Colombia came from Hollywood, which is 100% wrong. And so, like, even when I was getting off the plane, I've traveled all over the world extensively. I've been to very sketch parts of the world where there were people just always looking at you, waiting for you to make a mistake, waiting to kidnap you, something like that. So I just thought that that was Colombia. See, when I got off that plane, I had all my zippers on my jacket. Everything was zipped up. I had my backpack on full and I was ready to fight. Anybody wants to come after me, man, we're going to go after it. Nah, not even a bit. I was there the whole time. We were there the whole time. And we went through towns, villages. We were in town squares. Nah, no one even looked at you. Yeah, no one. Like it was so bizarre of how off base I was in my thinking of Colombia. 100%, 180 degrees, the opposite direction. We were everywhere on bikes. Amazing. And then the other thing you have to remember about Colombia is that cycling is their national sport. Like that's their national support. So Egan Bernal, he's, their number one guy, their number one sports hero. And so the drivers are amazing. And it's the exact opposite of what it is here in America. So when you're on the road here in America, I don't care where you are. People are going to let you know that they're not happy that you're on the road, right? Where I live in Bedford, Virginia, where I bring people in, I bring clients in to train. The roads are super quiet and the people are super friendly, but you can tell that they would rather you not be on the road. It's the exact opposite in Colombia. There are cyclists everywhere. Think of the highway, back roads, gravel roads. Everywhere you look, there's a cyclist coming out of everywhere. Road and mountain bike is what they really love. And it is absolutely amazing. Like there was this one big climb that I was going up and, a woman hands me a water bottle out of her window. Okay. Like, just, hey, here you go. They honk at you in support. And the mindset is totally different. So if you're in Colombia and you have 10 miles to go, But there are so many cyclists on that road that it actually takes you 2 hours to get that 10 miles. It's like they don't care. That's just part of life. The sun rises, the sun sets. There's going to be cyclists on the road in Colombia. Like I said, everywhere, every single road, highways, everywhere. So my region, you can ride on all these roads, but there are roads that I will absolutely not go down in my region, and it's a fairly quiet region, right? But in Colombia, everywhere. So that was really awesome. That was great to experience a country support of the national sport, which is cycling. Let's jump into the trip. The 6 days was about 250 miles, lasted 6 days. We all averaged about 1,000 TSS. We had 30,000 feet of climbing. So that was our accumulated total for the entire trip. So it was all up and down. And we flew into the town Pereira, which is at 6,000 feet, and we would dip down to 4,000 feet. We would go up to 8,000 feet. But yeah, we hung out at 6,000 feet a lot. And, if you think about Denver's at 5,000 feet. And so Pereira's at 6,000 feet. The athlete starts to feel the altitude around 7,000 feet. Then with 8,000 feet, you really notice it. How do you notice it? Your heart rate jacks up. So this is Camilo. This is our tour guide. He was the leader of the bunch. We always had several people with us for this. And just gentlemen, all of them fantastic. A couple of days we had a professional female mountain bike cyclist, and she was there and she was on the road with us, and we were talking to her, asking her about her training, the races that she does, how she races as a full-time cyclist, professional in Colombia. What are the races like? And so that was great. But the tour team itself is amazing, and you can see their name Altos right there. So this is where we flew in. You can see Bogota right in the middle, the capital of Colombia, and we're about 5 hours from from Bogota. But you can kind of see we all stayed in that particular range of Colombia. And then you can kind of get an idea. You can see here's some of the roads that we were on, and it's just all up and down, right? So this is a heat map of all the single roads that we did. This valley right here, we ended about 8,500 feet right here, and this was just a magical day. This is a national park, very little traffic. Just an amazing day, ending at 85,000 feet or 8,500 feet. And when we got to the top, we had this huge lunch in a restaurant. We got to talk. We got to, some of us drank. Those who drank. But what was great is that there was a shower, no hot water, kind of an open air shower at 8,500 feet. Beautiful. Which brings me to the temperature. The temperature at this time of year in January is in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and dips down to about maybe 55 at night, and then, mid 90s, but it's a dry heat. It's not very humid. And what's great, you don't really have to worry about if it rains, because in this part of the world, it only ever rains at night. So that's pretty cool. So it was just beautiful every day, all day. Here's some of the scenery, just a valley view, just beautiful. This is a national park here. This is at about 8,500 feet elevation, just all beautiful. This was a great town that we rode through, and you can see, this is some of our people right here that I was with. Great people. You ride through these little towns, and once again, you are the priority on the road. So you can just ride through these towns and not have any problem whatsoever, because you as a cyclist are the priority. Everybody else takes second place. Here's the city of Manizales. We have Pereira, which is a larger city, and then we have the city of Manizales, and this was great because, we had this great 10-mile climb to get up here. So this is situated up in the mountains. So to get here, you have to go up this 10-mile climb. And so it was just a beautiful day. And that's what it looks like. And so Yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful day. Here's some more pictures. You know, you go through these little towns. Here's our support group back here. We're going through, but we always had two cars with us all the time, one in front, one in back. You get a flat tire, that's replaced. Break a chain, whatever happens, everything is fixed. They're mechanics, spare parts, all that great stuff. So there's no worries whatsoever. Here's our last view that we'll look at. This was a ridge ride that we did where we rode about 9 miles up to this ridge, and then we just bounced along this ridge, which was a gorgeous day. Now, places we stay, the hotels are, we only stayed in one hotel. It was in Pereira, but it was 5 star. Like, it was an amazing, immaculate hotel, just 5 star accommodations. Everybody was just dressed to the nines in this hotel. Great restaurant as well. And that's my friend Russ. He was on the vacation with us as well. We're watching the sunset. They have a lot of open air architecture. So this is the inside of the building. These are all the doors, but there are no windows. It's tons of open air architecture in Colombia. One of the best places that we stayed that I was not really aware of is Casa do Velo Cycling Hotel. If you'll notice, that's my hat right here, and it is a hotel that only exists to serve cyclists. It's where Annemiek van Vleuten stays. It's where people come from all over the world to stay at this cycling hotel. So let's look here. This is the hotel. So that's one room there. That's one room. That's one room. And so it's only about, I think, 10 rooms for this hotel, but it's gorgeous. Here's Annemiek van Vleuten's, her Tour de France jersey, some of her jerseys, pictures on the wall. And this is just, sort of the interior where everybody can hang out, do what you like. They have a big morning lunch and dinner going, and so you can order off menu, whatever you want. This is a picture of breakfast. But, here's our team, and our team is still coming in. But these were people from Colorado and Texas. They were all friends, and so they were just down here joining us. You got a great place to hang your bikes. That's what's great about a cycling hotel, man. You roll in and there's a place to put your bike. And so that's pretty cool. And then there's what's so cool. Like, it is a cycling hotel. So we had, our team, the tour group, they washed our bikes every night, cleaned them all up. In fact, one of them, I had a water bottle. I guess I hadn't cleaned it in 2 years. And he looked at it and he just did this. And then he came back and then that water bottle was spotless. So it's a first rate team. But here's the washroom. And so this is one of the gentlemen that was with us. But anybody can come in and wash their bikes after a ride. So that's always pretty cool. Great food. This was Casa do Velo's one of them items on their evening menu, dinner menu, which was a spaghetti, and it was fantastic. They had pizza, steaks, pretty much whatever you wanted. Here's another. We went to a coffee plantation, and in the coffee plantation, they had a great restaurant dining area. Not a restaurant, but a great little small 20-person dining. So we went on a tour of the coffee plantation, got back, had a great meal. And this was red beans and rice and sausages and avocado. Lots of avocado in Colombia. Pretty much with every meal you get avocado. And then tons of coffee, obviously, to drink. Here's a great picture of breakfast. Here's one of the places that we stayed. So we stayed in a total of 3 different places. Only one night in a hotel, a few nights in Casa do Velo, and then these really awesome bungalows near a small town called La Virginia. So we just didn't stay in one place. We kind of biked to a couple of different places, which made the tour even that much better. Here's some breakfast supplies. Pretty much everywhere you went in Colombia, you would see this type of breakfast. And then you could order on menu as well. And this will be the last picture that I show. This was one of the places. This was we stayed maybe 3 nights at this place. We had pizza one night. We had massage. We got massages one night, which was really awesome. And so we just had a beautiful, amazing time. Highly recommend you check this out. I'll have a link below in the description to the page. I have a call. It's all being set up right now, the prices and all of that. So we'll have a website right now. If you're interested, shoot me an email. But let's go to Colombia. You do not want to miss this trip. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. The people are amazing. The drivers are amazing. The views are amazing. The food is amazing. And so you do not want to miss January 2025. Let's do this, people.